you mentioned something that I kind of want to jump on too. Is you were talking about The Dark Knight as one of your favorite movies, and I know we were talking about directors, but starting first with the movie, The Dark Knight, like what to you makes that one of your like top three favorite movies?
Heath Ledger.
It-
That best, not just even best villain of all time, in my opinion, but not just
Mhm.
that, one of the best acting jobs I've ever seen. It's a movie that I can watch once every 6 months for the rest of my life and never get sick of it.
Yeah.
Just the most incredibly bone chilling, like freaky, amazing acting jobs I've ever seen. And I think he was one of my favorite actors by far, and his trajectory was going so quickly, and he was going to be one of the best actors ever. And then he passed away, but that role was just unbelievable. And I love Batman, but that is absolutely my favorite one. Like, it's not even
Yeah.
close. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just think that role is the best role I've ever seen.
I know, I agree. It's just like when he passed away, I was like, oh, people are like hyping this up, right? Like, 'cause I never saw it like in theaters, which I wish I did. But when it did come out on disc, I was like, it was after he passed away when I finally went and saw it, and I was just like, wow. I mean, regardless of him passing away, like this movie is phenomenal. It's amazing. Like his acting was tremendous, and that's when I absolutely fell in love. I was like, what even is this? Like it is
Yeah,
so
it was amazing.
fantastically well shot, well lit, well scripted. The characters, the amount of interactions of like how the characters are engaging with each other at the certain points throughout the movie, you're just like, this movie is phenomenal. Like,
Yeah. And you have to give credit to Christopher Nolan too, because in his
mhm.
Batman movies that he made, like the Tim Burton Batman movies in the '90s were awesome, and like Jack Nicholson's Joker was still really good and so different. But
Yeah,
Christopher Nolan's Batman's Christian Bale, like people make fun of his voice or whatever, but those three Batman movies that he made were so good. And he's an awesome director too. So I think he had a huge part in why Heath Ledger took it to another level on his own, but I think Christopher Nolan was a huge influence on why the Joker was that way. He wanted
right.
it to be like that. Like, I know he took stuff from like Clockwork Orange and some of these really creepy movies, and he didn't want it to be anything like Jack Nicholson's Joker. He wanted it to be completely different. And out of respect, Jack Nicholson, because he's great. Um, but I think that Christopher Nolan was a big part on why Heath Ledger's Joker was like that, and I think Heath
Mm,
Ledger just went with it. So
yeah.
I've watched a lot of things about that. I actually watched one the other day that was like an hour and a half long, and Heath Ledger said that he wouldn't have done the movie if it wasn't for Christopher Nolan's view on what he thought the Joker was supposed to be, because Heath Ledger
Wow.
said his view was the exact same thing. Like, they sat down and they just figured out, like, they both wanted the character to be exactly what they thought. So they
Hmm.
just ran with it, and it ended up being a masterpiece, man.
It really is. It came out so phenomenal. I
Yeah.
just watching back, there's something about that movie you just still don't see in a movie today. It's just so different and so
Yeah.
psychotic. Like I absolutely loved the new Joker. I thought it was really, really, really well done. But still, there's like you said, there's this creepiness that Heath Ledger had that I haven't seen. Like the new Joker, it was creepy, it was good, really, yeah, just makes you cringe. Like in a good way. It's just like ugh. But that movie still has such a good element to it that you still feel like you're living inside of his head, like you're seeing
Yeah.
the world through his view.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And in Heath Ledger's portrayal, it was more of just, he was a psycho just to be a psycho. Like,
Yeah,
his joy was just to terrorize. And he never wanted to kill Batman. He would never kill Batman. His whole thing was them going back and forth, but his whole life was literally just to terrorize. Where in the new Joker, it gives you an awesome spin on like something that people deal with today, like the mental health issues and stuff like
yeah,
that. That movie focused on someone that had a real problem.
right,
And it went in depth into that too. So, like the new Joker was awesome as well. And individual acting, it was fantastic. Uh,
right.
but it really gave you like the mental health aspect and like what people go through today. So, they're very different, but
They are.
both very good at the same time.